Okay, you're live. Okay, Jay, take it away.
All right. Going to call the meeting to order, and
So,
the first matter before us is to approve the minutes of our March 16th, 2020 meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at them, and are there any comments? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Tony,
All right, since there's no one, Tony moves, and I guess,
Joe, second.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you.
all right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we have approved minutes. The next item on our agenda is to review the pay equity policy. I think everyone's got a copy of it, I hope. And with that, Anna, should I turn it over to you? Are you going to walk us through this?
Sure.
Background?
Thank you. Yes. So Rachel put this draft policy together for us in advance of today's meeting. This has been a matter of concern for the county executive since the beginning of this year. He's been interested in following in the example of Erie County and adopting an equal pay policy. In 2015, the Erie County Industrial Development Agency became the first IDA in the state of New York to pursue a policy like this one. Off the top of my head, I don't know that others have followed in their footsteps. So I'll just give you some quick background. The Erie County IDA adopted the policy in September 2015. It requires that any tax incentive applicant there must certify compliance with all state and federal laws governing equal pay for women and men for the same job positions. And all applicants for incentives, they essentially have to sign an equal pay certification form certifying compliance with all applicable laws, including the Equal Pay Act of 1963 and other policies at the federal and state level. Here in the state of New York, we have one of the most stringent equal pay laws in the nation. We're right behind California and the state of Washington in terms of how strictly the state governs the matter of equal pay, no matter your gender, race, religion, age, ability status, etc. In Erie, the ECIDA and the county entered into an agreement in 2015 that allows the county's Division of Equal Employment Opportunity Office to conduct reviews on randomly computer-selected tax incentive recipients, whereby recipients are required to self-report items such as categories and titles of job positions, salaries, and the gender of employees. So in Erie County, the county government takes on the onus of auditing and monitoring in regards to this policy. County Executive Bello announced last week the week before last, the installment of a new Office of Diversity and Inclusion within his administration in the county office building. And under that division, he will be hiring a chief diversity officer and an equal employment officer. So at this point in time, it's my understanding that if we were to adopt this policy, the responsibility for monitoring would fall to that division under the county executive's leadership and not upon us and our staff. I'll just lastly mention that in 2014, Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz signed an executive order there mandating compliance with the Equal Pay Act for all vendors seeking business with Erie County. And County Executive Bello wishes to make a similar announcement and in tandem with that announcement, call upon COMIDA and your sister board at MCIDC to adopt policies in alignment with what the Erie County Industrial Development Agency has on its books. And borrowing from that language, Rachel put together the draft policy that you see in your materials today. And this is just for discussion. I'm not asking you to make a recommendation to the board. I'm just asking you to discuss this as a possibility for adoption potentially in 2021. So you could make the resolution to adopt it this year, but have it be applicable to projects coming before the board in 2021.
Got it.
Thank you.
Anna, one question, and Rachel, maybe you would know. In terms of the randomly selected companies, is there a percentage that they look at or audit?
It's just one per month approximately, so 12 per year. And those applicants, recipients that are audited are then not subject to be put back into that pool for random selection for another 6 years.
Got it. Okay. No, that's a healthy number. I was just, you answered my question, one per month. So with that, I guess I'll...
Is that how it works? The businesses are randomly chosen. That's how it works.
Yeah, the Erie County has some sort of a software program that they use to randomly select applicants. On our call last week, I used the visualization of, Yolanda Vega and the lottery, thingy with the ping pong balls.
Right.
I don't know what the software is or what the computer program is, but Lydia Burr has a contact over there that we are going to chat with who can help us understand what it is that they utilize.
Okay.
I really
have a question.
Sorry, Aaron, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a question, a couple of them, I guess. So the idea would be that when we approve our projects, we get the ownership to commit to being in compliance with our local labor policy. Would we also have a special mention on this and asking for their compliance?
Yes, that would be part of the new process going forward.
Okay. And with the new department that the county executive has formed on diversity, is there a thought that this is just as dealing with equal pay among men and women? Will there be other policies related to diversity and inclusion that will also be potentially considering going forward?
Not at this time. I don't believe that the county executive plans to propose any mandates that would require diversity benchmarks for us. Mm-hmm. It's just this equal pay policy at this point in time.
Yeah, but I mean, going forward, you don't anticipate there are the other policies?
No, I believe that, it's possible that we could, on the MCIDC side of the equation, we could take a look at our revolving loan fund and say, okay, maybe 20% of our revolving loan fund projects should go to MWBEs. That would be something that we would discuss internally. It's not my understanding that the county executive plans to place any mandates on us but I should add, he has established beyond the division of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, he's established the Race Commission in collaboration with the city, and that commission is going to be making some recommendations about, particularly around policing, and I don't know what the outcome will be of those conversations, but it could be that they will make some requests regarding economic development projects.
You said the county executive was supportive of this. How did it come up? Was it in his meetings with the county executive in Erie County, or are there other IDAs that are following this? And we just want to make sure we sort of also follow this in terms of our own policies in our county.
So in Rochester, there is a Pay Equity Coalition, and it's not necessarily, I don't know that it's technically a formal entity, but it's a volunteer grassroots organization that last year hosted events. There's Women's Pay Equity Day typically falls in the month of March. And then later on in the year is Black Women's Pay Equity Day. There's an Asian Women's Pay Equity Day, Latino Pay Equity Day. And this group hosted a number of events last year. This year they could not because of the coronavirus. But County Executive Bello was invited by this group to participate in a couple of last year's events. And they scheduled meetings with him earlier this year to propose this idea in light of what was established in Erie County and in light of some other policies that are on the books in other parts of the United States. And the county executive was intrigued and asked me to go ahead and pursue this agreement, this resolution with our boards to take place around the same time frame that he issues his executive order. So yes, and he also, there are a number of other matters where he has looked to Erie County for some guidance, and Erie has set forth some good examples. They have established a Erie County Commission on the Status of Women, for example. So Mr. Bello is he looks upon Mark Poloncarz' administration as setting some good examples. And so it was a combination of the local Pay Equity Coalition and an affinity for Erie in their policies.
Yeah, good. All right, thank you.
Of course. And to your other question, I don't know that there are other IDAs in the state besides Erie that has a pay equity policy, but I can look into that. Rachel's shaking her head.
I'm not aware of any of our clients other than Erie County that has a similar policy.
Okay.
But I think we've always prided ourselves on being on the front of issues like this, like local labor. So because there aren't any, it's not a negative. It's, just we're out in front as usual.
We have all the arrows in our back to prove it, right?
Yes, we do.
Right.
Okay.
Good questions, Ann. Are there any other comments, questions? So Anna, from a timing standpoint, what are next steps here? Obviously, there would be some modifications to this based on the new office that's being set up, but when would we look to formally have the governance committee? I'm assuming this would first be adopted by the governance committee and then move to the board for formal adoption.
Right. August 13th is Black Women's Pay Equity Day, and on or around that date, it's my understanding right now that the county executive wishes to host a press conference and make an announcement in regards to the issuance of an executive order mandating compliance with the Equal Pay Act for vendors seeking to do business with Monroe County. And that on that same, those same remarks, it's my understanding that he would call upon COMIDA and MCIDC to adopt a pay equity policy in accordance with the county's pay equity policy. So I would assume that we would call a meeting of the governance committee subsequent to that event and vote to adopt it as a committee and then bring it forth to the board at the September meeting for adoption, for formal adherence in 2021.
Got it. Are there any other, Tony, Joe, any other questions, comments?
No, no, I'm fine. No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. I am, the next item is other business. I am unaware of any other business. Robin, Anna, Rachel, do you have anything? Ann?
No.
No,
No, I
we're
do
good.
not.
Nope.
All right. With that, if there's nothing else, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn and look forward to talking to you at noon and then reconvening here sometime in August to formally adopt this.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everyone. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Yep, I'm gonna close the line and I'll reopen it at noon.
Sounds good.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Bye.